So hello, Mita. Thank you so much for being here with me. Today is a Friday. Today is October 23rd. And I'm so happy to talk to you about the mentorship program and your experience. But first, I want that, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Mita Goshal, and I'm a choreographer living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Great, great. So Mita, how you knew about the mentorship program?
Yeah, so I found out about the mentorship program through the website, Dancing Alone Together.
Yep.
Since the pandemic, I've been taking a lot of classes through that website, which has been amazing because I've been able to study with teachers all over the world, really. And it's just kept me, I've kept dancing. And then I saw Anabella's workshop advertised, and it looked really interesting to me. It looked like a chance to go more in depth into my choreography. And the first one I took was a whole month. So I thought, wow, like we're going to meet 3 hours every week on Saturday and, learn about choreography. So I was really excited and drawn to, that more in-depth study.
Great, great, great. So if you need to tell 3 words about the program, what you gain, what words will be?
Let's see. I feel like I gained knowledge. That's one. Community. And self-reflection.
Great, 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 great. We was talking offline about this, keep creating online. So, how sometimes we feel isolated. Even myself, I'm in New York City, and I feel like I cannot go to see live shows and have this conversation that I used to have, after seeing a show, going for a coffee, for a pizza, for an ice cream, and talk about the show and talk about life. So with the mentorship program, I want to facilitate this communication. But you would like to talk about your experience taking choreography, creating the homework during the week. I don't know, a little bit about reflection, like you say, about this process of learning online or creating online.
Sure. So I'm in my second month of taking with Anabella. So I took the September workshop and now I'm taking the October workshop. And I guess I didn't realize how isolated I was due to COVID. I keep in touch with family and friends, and I am in regular conversation with people and with my partner, and I'm never alone really. And I didn't really think about the difference that my life is now that we're in COVID. So even though I'm keeping these, contacts, I wasn't really having these more in-depth conversations about art and about choreography. And then once I started taking the workshops in September, I was really surprised. It was like I was part of this whole community. And I had said to Anabella before that, it feels like a podcast in some ways, that we are here, there's readings, there's the videos that we watch. And then really it's like the first 40 minutes, she opens it up for conversation, and it's really open. It's not like you have to talk about this or you have to answer this question, you really are just open to, okay, let's talk about the readings. Let's talk about the videos that you saw. And the conversations became very deep, and people would really share. And it was really surprising to me. It was like, wow, like this is really happening online. And so that's what kept drawing me back and what even made me want to take the second month, because I felt like this is more than just, learning in a workshop. This is having this community, a community of people where we are together and we're talking about this stuff and we're grappling with it during a really important time. I mean, if you think about it, it's like we've all been through so much on so many different levels, and we're kind of like our heads are exploding and thinking about different, the way that we see things and talk about things and look at art. Everything's changing. So I think it's really important to have these conversations right now. And I do feel like this, being a part of this workshop, has allowed me to engage in those conversations, but not only with my circle of friends here, but in New York, in Cairo, in LA, in everywhere. Like the people are from all over the world. So.
great. And that's why I keep offering the mentorship workshop. For me, it's like, I love so much my work. I want to talk. I miss that community, and I want to share, more discover. Since the pandemic, I've been, I don't know how many orders. I don't want to say even to my husband, how many books, new books of dance, and books that have been buried in my library and I didn't read them for 10 years, that coming back. I'm like, what is that quote? What is that article that we have to explore? I was reading an article that I'm going to share tomorrow, for Gia Kurlas, about, the dance could be, or it is, a weapon. And so she compared, the 1930, the new dance group ensemble, the pioneers of modern dance, talking about social justice and, inclusion. And it was 1930, and now we come back, dance will be a weapon. So it's very interesting, like the thematics of the workshop each month is different, because we are still, like you say, so many changes happen that we're still reacting. And so I listen and I look at the material that everybody's presenting. It's like, oh, so next workshop we're going to work on that, because I see this interest, and in a way we have to dig in and delve in. Yeah. Other question that I want to ask you is like, what you discover by yourself, because the most interesting part is the homework. What happened between a Saturday and a Saturday? How you work on your creative process?
Well, what's interesting is that I usually just work on my own. So it's been a little bit challenging, because there are prompts every week,
Mm-hmm.
like there's a prompt to work with. So then rather than me just having this complete freedom and just going off and doing whatever I want, I have to think about what I'm doing in particular ways, which I think stretches me. So I would say, like, for example, this month, which is very different than last month, by
Yes.
the way. Like everything about it is different, which was really surprising. I was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, now we're doing this. So, I've really had to think about, you ask these questions. It's like, okay, well, what about this space behind you? You're doing everything very frontal. So what about the space behind you? And I had to go back and look at that and say, oh, what about the space behind me? Why am I avoiding that?
Mm-hmm.
What is back here, and what would be interesting? Or I see you using your arms and your upper body. What about your legs? What part do your legs play?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's taken me a little bit, but realizing that it's not, everything isn't a finished piece. This is their studies, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm here to just study. So I kind of had to make that transition of, I'm not here to make a piece that I'm going to perform at some venue, or, you know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah.
like here to look
Yeah.
at, well, what's my resistance? Why am I resisting the backspace? Why am I not using my legs?
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
are the things I'm drawn to? What are the things I'm interested in, just from like a studying perspective, which
Yep.
is really, I feel lucky that I have this time and space to do this right now,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's what I'm learning, is that there's place of exploration, there's place of creating something for a goal, but then there's also place of just exploring. Take some time out, take some months out just to explore, which I think is perfect for the COVID, kind of like being in your own
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, and also the freedom to play and experimentation. I feel that this is a time for experimentation. Like the previous workshop, it was about ritual versus performance, and it was so esoteric, so magic. I remember, people showing the tarots, and it was. And now we are like,
Right.
okay, very technical. Give me a phrase of
Yeah,
movement.
very
Can you
technical.
define? And it's like a shock, but I feel that
Right.
that's what I keep interesting us in choreography, how we can go from something that from the inside to the outside, how we transfer an idea, how to express an idea and craft it at the same time. So yeah, but I'm excited for the next one. Let's see, with the choreography for the camera as well. As I say, the questions that I have in myself, I put it out there, and then I start to bring material and other authors to share on that. Any other thing that you want to share about this process, about this experience?
I think that also the readings, both the readings and the videos were very good. They just kind of like made me look at things in also like a whole, like a round, because like I think back to the ritual workshop, and you gave us like a Sufi video,
Yes.
and then Hawaiian dance, and then that week there was something else as well, but it was like it made
Tarantella.
me.
I show the tarantella, la tarantella.
Yes,
Hmm.
yeah. And so it was really interesting because it made me think about that theme of the ritual versus performance, but all different kind of angles of it, So I think the assignments are really good, actually, and the readings are very good. And it's almost like you could think of it as like a college class without having to make the commitment to like enroll
Yes.
in a college.
Yes. And I'm
you
not
know
grading, please. I don't want to grade any more papers.
Right. So it's like the fun side of a college class. You get all of those things, but you don't have the pressure or even like the financial commitment to,
Yes.
enroll in
Oh, yes.
school and all this stuff. And I'm not in school right now. I'm done with school. So it's nice to kind of be able to do this type of weekend workshop outside of having a formal degree program. So,
Yeah.
so I think that's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, yeah, great, great. Thank you. And I'm so happy to have you and to see, every Saturday, what is your exploration and the
Right.
questions. And I love to hear also your very sharp feedback,
Oh, thank
to
you.
everybody. So that's we all make it the mentorship program. I just it's like an invitation. It's like, can we, get together? And then this happen. Yeah. You have any question, Mita, for me?
I do. I have a question that is like twofold. So one, I'm interested in, because you've been doing this workshop since June, right?
Hmm.
So I'm interested in what are the different themes that you've done? And then on the other side of it is, do you have plans? I know it's hard to plan, but do you have plans of this for, through going into 2021? Do you want to continue this through the COVID or after COVID or?
Yeah, 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 of course. It started because of conversation on the phone with many other students and another choreographers, to get together. And so I said, well, we need to give a formality in June. And so the first one that we start, it was composition. Everybody shows some studies and then I give feedback. The second workshop, it was about the relationship between music and dance,
Mm,
because most of the choreographers, they was using music, but it was no idea why. So then we look at this exploration. Then we did text and movement.
oh, okay.
Then we did composition 2D to 3D, but through the photographic point of view, through visual arts. Then we did the ritual dance versus performance. Now we do inform and content. November is gonna be choreography for the camera. December, I see still question mark, because again, I always ask, what do you want to work? Like you suggest choreography slash versus improvisation. That will be, some tentative. And I want to continue to 2021. But now the program start to take another shape,
Mm,
because many of the participants, like you've been 2 months. Sometime, I have 2 months a participant, then take 1 month off and then come back. So I really want to develop this in a program where every month is different, at least for 1 year. And we can do, I remember studying with my mentor, Jim May, and we have choreography every Saturday for a year. And how we explore different aspects, or he give us a question that
mm,
we explore during the entire month. And I have the luck to study with great teachers, composition. So it's now about how I organize 2021. But at the beginning it was like like Giselle, knocking the door and just to wait. And then because I feel that it's a necessity, we're gonna continue in 2021. It was an expect for me, actually, the 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 um the necessity of this program, and also the response that I get, because some of the workshops I need to turn people down because I want to keep it as small group. And because otherwise we don't have time to give feedback. And it's interesting when you are under pressure to show one-on-one.
mhm,
For me this is important. And then other strategies, my methodologies are also teaching is different. Like some of my dance theater mentorship programs, we start to do duos through the screen.
mm,
And we did not explore this in choreography yet, but because I need that the group get to know each other more, feel more confidence, so then I can start to include collaboration. And that will be the phenomenal thing, that we can work in collaboration, from another cities, from other countries in the world. So we are building it, we are making in this mentorship together. So I'm happy, and I'm glad that you enjoyed all the lectures and all the films, because this, I have this YouTube channel for the last 10 years, and I use it for my dance history and dance criticism class. But now I add more stuff, and it's like, oh, finally I can share this to another dialogue, because teaching the
Mm-hmm.
undergraduates, for them is like the first time that they see a ballet, the first time.
Right.
But now we are among professionals. So the discussion that we have is like, and again, we don't have to follow any format to be in the academia. So if we want to discuss something more political, we can, because we have the freedom and the space to do it. So yeah, great. Well, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much, Mita. And
Yeah, thank you,
again,
Anabella.
looking forward to tomorrow to see what's
Yeah,
happening.
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.